watching the USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. NorCal, SoCal, from the California capital, it's the Sacramento Republic hosting Orange County SC. Take a look at the Western Conference standings. We have entered the final month of the campaign. FC Tulsa leads the way. Sacramento both chasing and trying to beat back the opposition right behind them. Orange County, games in hand on everybody, but you got to start turning it into points. The top 8 make the postseason. A win tonight would take them into 7. And good evening, everyone. Joined by Devin Kerr, Mike Watts on hand. Happy to have you along as we start October in the championship. And Devin, both these teams have a ton on the line tonight for very different reasons.
Both chasing balance, though, for a wide variety of reasons. I would start with Sacramento Republic and the fact that they've got the Jaeger Cup final on the weekend, a shot at another trophy, but balancing league play. Where are they going to finish in top 4? Orange County, decimated with injuries, looking for balance within their roster, trying to gain points, limping into postseason play, but still games with a shot to get them there.
Now, Devin, to the surprise of nobody, Neil Collins and the Sacramento Republic have a great defense. As to why, how about we go ahead of the curve?
It's about organization, communication, and structure overall. So we're going to go against one of the best attacks in the league, Lou City, earlier this season. Solidified back 5. The midfield 4 give you depth. Also the ability to drop up high. It creates a lot of one-on-one situations with weak side support. As you establish yourself and you become the dominant factor in this moment, what you're looking to do is force them back or have the opposition make a bad decision. Exactly what happens. Long ball up over the top and knock it out of bounds. Live to fight another day. Now we go into open area transition. They get in trouble here. You play high, the center back steps up, you expose yourself on the width, open up space centrally. Now watch the recovery as they drop back into the 18. One-on-ones again with weak side support for every single option. Beautiful one-on-one tackle by the center back, point to the corner flag. And when all else fails and you got 10 behind the ball, lest we forget, the best goalkeeper in the entire championship from 16 feet away in a moment's notice provides support. Danny Video, incredible goalkeeping. But don't take my word for it. The numbers speak for themselves. 11 shutouts on the season, tied for best in the championship, 3 in their last 8, rounding out into championship form at the right time.
They say defense wins championships. You saw Orange County won their star in 2021. And in October, very few, if any, better than they are.
I'm not walking to the other side and talking to Neil Collins about that one, because that 2021 team took down Neil Collins' Tampa Bay Rowdies. They start to turn up the heat. They found their identity. And right now, that rests on the attacking front, and specifically the production that you've gotten out of Ethan Zubak, the flexibility of Nico Ben-Alcazar off the back line into the middle, and Jameson on the outside. I'd throw Chris Haggard in there as well. 9 of the last 10 in goal contributions. They play with more pace. They're playing the game more vertical. And with all of that, they've absolutely dominated the statistical side of the game. 46% of the team's goal production have come from this 3. But if you ask Danny Stone, it's not enough. He believes they've got more in the arsenal to chase results going forward.
So Orange County will try and chase their biggest result of this campaign here tonight in Sacramento. 2 former title-winning teams with their eyes on lifting the trophy again this year. We start off October in the championship with Orange County and Sacramento. It's next on CBS Sports Network.
Number 1, Danny! And right wing back from Hartford, Connecticut, number 3, Brian! On the back line, out of Issaquah, Washington, number 15, Cody! At center back, Academy product, number 55, Jimmy! At right wing back, number 23, AJ! In the midfield, out of Brazil, 96, Luis! A 12-year vet out of New Orleans, number 43, Justin! On the wing, Academy product out of Sacramento, number 20, Blake. By way of Mainz, Germany, the winger, number 17, Dominic. At the 9 tonight, out of Glasgow, Scotland, number
The USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Sacramento, Orange County take the field. Sacramento 3 days away from the Jägermeister Cup final on the Golazo Network Saturday night. And if you watch their game on the weekend against Monterey Bay, this lineup doesn't look very familiar, does it?
9 changes overall. Cody Baker on the back line, the loanee from Seattle. Watch him to release high to try and push the tempo going forward. Blake Willie in the midfield. Massive responsibility tonight. Playing that dual threat off of Portillo defensively, but also providing the structure up high. The reason they want to be aggressive, they want to push this team back. Orange County SC in their 4-2-3-1 has struggled defensively as they start to push the tempo. Kelly, Pinto, and Hagar. Communication between the three. They all want to play high. They need to have balance sitting deep centrally, eliminating Sac's threats.
Ethan Zubak has been on some kind of goal-scoring tear for Orange County. Does it continue here tonight on the road in very hostile territory? A chance to bring Orange County above the playoff line against arguably the best goalkeeper in the game, in the league right now. Danny Vitiello chasing history. A chance to set the league shutout record tonight. Underway in Sacramento, California. It is the USL Championship on CBS Sports. It is Sacramento and Orange County to kick off October. Devin, the Western Conference has been anything but good for heart health this year. The top two started to pull away, and then we saw it begin to pull back in again as you get some results out of your 3 and 4 squads behind Sacramento with the defeat last Saturday to Monterey Bay. You look around Orange County, they've got games in hand, but arguably the toughest run-in of anybody. So nothing is for sure right now.
All due respect to the Eastern Conference, which certainly has its own talking points. The West is the mess, and it's the best kind of mess that you could ever want. 6 points coming into the night from the bottom of the Western Conference table and the final playoff spot at 8th position. Okay, why is it such a mess then? Because from 8th into 4th, which is the final remaining home playoff position, only 6 points there. It is as tight as it has ever been. The margins for error have never been smaller, and the run-in to the final match should be absolutely magical given the 6-point swings.
Jamison tried to slip it through. Sacramento may need to practice a bit of the dark arts if they're to knock Tulsa off their perch at this stage. Tulsa's won the season series. They sit second, Sacramento in the West. They need Tulsa to drop multiple results down the stretch and get something close to perfection in their own right for the #1 seed. Orange County's got highest max points remaining in the conference. That is a very early yellow card to Justin Portillo, who was acquired from Tulsa midway through last year.
Certainly be the stable in the midfield as well, given the vertical threats that you will get out of Blake Willie and Luis Felipe. The touch right here, yeah, I can understand it. A key point of emphasis that started last season from pro referees has funneled into 2025. Inability to get involved in restarts. Prohibition put forward by any opposing player. Poor mistake by Justin Portillo.
Orange County in 9th. jump the switchbacks in 8th and then pull level on points with Phoenix with a win. They won the season series on head-to-head goal difference, the second tiebreaker. Leapfrog into 7th. Vitiello off his line, knocks it up the field. Knocked away from Aaron Edwards, but remains with Sacramento. Leading forward for Dominic Vonner. Vonner rounding the corner. Vonner denied the follow, whipped over by Blake Willie. Looking for his first professional goal in the championship. He's nearly in the right place at the right time.
Good utilization of the width, the speed on the diagonal, perfect execution as you drag the runner back across. Have to be smarter in the moment. Play the angles game. You can't dive in because you hang everybody out. That ball's got to come back across the 6, though. With all the space, the momentum of the back line, you hit this right to the top, and Blake Willie steps right through it. Still should have put it on target, but a much more difficult pace and angle for him to try and control. Good start, though.
Devin Willie has started 16 times this year, but for the vast majority of players in this lineup, you wouldn't call them the first choice. Maybe Luis Felipe, maybe Danny Vitiello, obviously, and then Jared Timmer, who's been in and out due to injury, getting the start tonight. Of the guys that maybe aren't penciled or sharpied in, who has the most that they can make from this game?
Oof, loaded question, and here's why. If you're Luis Felipe, what is your ambition within the squad moving forward? You're no longer part of the 11 regularly. Do you want to be a supplemental bench player for Neil Collins? Now's your opportunity to prove it because of the lack of reps overall in the starting 11. Like what I see up top over Dominic Vonner and Lewis Jamison, but Jamison has to provide more goal production. It hasn't been good enough on the season. And then if you're someone on the back line like Chibi Ukebu, youth isn't going to be a problem. It's breaking through this magnificent back 3 that has included Jared Timmer, who's making his way back from injury. So can you start to push that conversation overall for Neil Collins in his first season? And more so the changes that are going to be in the offseason, Mike, because you better believe Neil Collins is only going to add more firepower at every single level of this squad.
41-year-old Scotsman named 2021 Championship Coach of the Year in Tampa Bay. Went overseas to Barnsley. In 2023, ultimately returns to the championship this year and takes over Sacramento. All the while, Danny Stone, leading Orange County, was the interim last year and led the team to a tremendous 5-win, 1-loss, 3-draw record over the final 9 games, but just narrowly fell out in the Western Conference semifinal at Colorado Springs, the eventual champion. It was a side that had to fight their way into the postseason, and once they got there, they were an extraordinarily tough out for the team that ultimately lifted the trophy. Skip header on, Vonner chasing. Devin, most managers are over here trying to move magnets, play Quidditch. He's playing chess, checkers, the whole thing, Neil Collins. I know all that time in Tampa Bay, you marveled at some of these 2 personnel, 9 position changes with shifting shapes and wild. Lobbed in by Edwards. Return to sender. Willie this time! Kicked away! Bounces it in! Dominic Vonner finishes the job, his 2nd goal this year! And any concern that Sacramento would throw it in neutral days before a final quickly dispersed.
Long throw, it's adjusting after the fact though. The first one, you could be nitpicky on the clearance because the ball comes nearly down Route 1. It's got to be away from the threat, over the shoulder. Slight mistake, but then not enough pressure quick enough to really close down the angle. You cannot allow that much time on the secondary ball put forth after the quality save by Colin Shuttler. The strike from distance, I'll allow it. Hard to react. But in that moment, in that time, no reason whatsoever you allow a player of that quality to do damage.
Won German titles at the under-17 and under-19 level at Borussia Dortmund. Came up through Mainz' second team. And the 26-year-old German with his second goal this season for Sacramento. Sacramento undefeated in games in which they've scored first this year. And a good moment for Vonner, right? A guy who can do a number of different things. As you see, Orange County, conversely, yet to win a game in which they've conceded first. I have Vonner listed on my board as a left wing back. He's playing up front tonight.
Well, that's the versatility that we talked about coming into the match, Mike, about giving the manager something to think about. And being a depth piece is one thing. Being a depth piece at multiple locations is a very different conversation. So for Dominic Vonner, yes, they'd like to utilize him on the left side of this attack. And normally at the wingback position, you can also drop into a 4 and play left mid and, you know, move him into that advanced role, but he's comfortable up high. Reason being, really good at runs off the ball. It's a perfect example of it. Comes on a diagonal, stretches the back line, pulls the Latinovic, and Ashton Miles with him. All of which, space opening up. Good finish on the first one, and then just adjusting on the second ball coming back through. 10 minutes in, 2 key moments of which he was a part of. Exactly what you're looking for if you're Neil Collins.
Zubac pivots. Hagart slipping through, across now, got on the wrong side of Zubac. Jamison chasing it down. He is on loan from the Rapids, to whom he was sold earlier this year. Jamison, the 19-year-old American under 20. Which I suppose is both an adjective and a noun in this endeavor. Both part of the under 20 national team and also remaining under the age of 20. Through to Vitiello. This is the most played matchup in Sacramento Republic history. Joined the league in 2014, and Preki led them all the way to an inaugural season championship. Preki, one of the great scorers in Major League Soccer history, has floated around, including in St. Louis in the championship before arriving now in Seattle. Brian Schmetzer's staff. One of a kind mind, Preki. And one name. Ukebu. Spalding. Vonner. Tapped outside. Here's Blake Willie. Baker puts it outside. He's in from the Sounders. Ball lobbed across by Edwards. Jamison. Felipe trying to grind this free off of Kelly. Sacramento dig out another possession. Portillo outside. Lukebu. 2 losses in the last 13 league games for Sacramento. Dev, I think they're going to be on that rare double podium at the end of a season. Most in form and most talented. Maybe best prepared to win a championship by having those 2 in concert.
Certainly when it comes to the starting 11 group, no discrediting that whatsoever. What sort of depth are they going to have getting some players back from injury? Jared Timmer in the lineup tonight, spearheading the 3-back system for Neil Collins. Very important. Get about 45 minutes. That's the hope anyway. Partnership of Kleeman and Desmond will round out what is the natural selection. I'm sure there's a couple of other teams in the Western Conference like FC Tulsa that are going to have something to say about it. Outside of their most recent loss, Lexington had been on an absolute tear of form in the Western Conference. All up for grabs, put it that way.
Ryan Spalding. Timmer. Jamison. Spalding. Willie. Bukebu. Timmer. Kebu put under pressure. Zubak joins. Timmer gave it away. What was a good spell for Sacramento is transition for Orange County. Dunbar awaits. Ball across over Jamison. And lost to the end line.
I'm not so sure that ball went over, but really want to keep an eye on what just played out there. Doesn't look like much. But for Jared Timmer, this mistake coming off the back line, trying to work his way back into the group, get some game minutes. The areas that Sacramento Republic have struggled the most have been on their own accord. Mistakes in the midfield, sloppy turnovers, 50-50 situations where clearances should have gone to the outside, instead come right down the middle. That's a good example. Cleaning up that moment where the release can't come at a chance that is so costly in the central location. Instead, be smart up over the top, keep it to the outside, and force Orange County to react.
Goal kick for Vitiello. Tremendous season. He's been the starter in the league. Jared Mazzola has handled the cup. Vitiello's got 11 clean sheets. Mazzola in his 6 games in cup competition has amassed 5. Kelly outside. Shopping and seeking space. Dogman. Will be a corner for Orange County. Stephen Kelly is not having a great time in America. This dude played 200 games and didn't get set off once in Scotland. Not at Rangers, not at Livingston, not at all. 2 reds in 10 games. Kelly. Hagar tries to get beneath it. I was waiting. I was trying to tee up an Olympico there. It didn't work out. Got away from Jamison.
The 25-year-old has certainly had quite the journey since his arrival in Etazuni. You know, one of the key things that Danny Stone mentioned to me in our chat earlier today in the lead up to this game was, you know, squad selection for him as the head coach has been a little bit thin, but also they've been on the road a ton. So within that, he feels for Stephen Kelly, yeah, performances have been up and down, but also he hasn't been able to establish a rhythm. He doesn't have a home. So even though they brought him to the state of California, he hasn't been there. So getting established into a daily routine, getting rhythm within the group.
Whoa, that rip is wide. Cameron Dunbar. The spin on that was crazy.
all been very difficult. Yet with all of that, he's still made an impact within this group. This team has a ton of capability in the build overall. They're better in wide open transition. But when you've got ball carriers in the midfield, Hagart, Kelly, and Pinto, the reason they're so good is they allow the wingers, Dunbar and Jamison, to go and attack. Both are interchangeable. Both can move from outside in, but also start on underlaps and then have strong strikes from distance, something they need to utilize more to their advantage.
Referee allows play to continue. It's good patience from Rodrigo Albuquerque, the real name of this referee.
Sounds familiar.
You and I got to spend a lot of time with Rodrigo Albuquerque on Sunday. More than probably anyone was looking to share with him on that occasion. Stopping the game in the 90th minute due to lightning in the area in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Sunday evening. A delay that brought us both closer together and drove a wedge between us, Devin.
Well, the wedge exists for a reason. You can actually purchase it on Amazon.
He did the right thing. Here's Spalding. As the recipient of 6 hours of lightning delays the last few weeks, I'm happy to say 0% precipitation tonight. Spalding. Ooh, Willie. Jamison will chase. Tipped over by Colin Schottler. Free kick, Orange County.
So vital to have Jared Timmer back once they get him into full fitness. Addressed it a tad bit earlier, but moving on to that right side of the back three, Kleeman in the middle, Desmond on the left. Timmer so good with the ball at his feet, and as quickly as the ball works itself in, his decision-making and distribution even faster. Benefits them with the wingbacks. He's on Jack Gurr's side, so quick movement off the back line, releasing Jack Gurr higher. Jack Gurr has a lot more confidence when Timmer is there. It's one area they've struggled for a little bit of balance in the absence of Jared Timmer due to injury. Now, JJ's been really good. Chibi Ukebu has done well for himself as well, but it's not Jared Timmer. The consistency of performance, his ability to make split-second decisions on both sides of the ball, all of which necessary for Sacramento Republic moving forward as they head into postseason play.
Timmer has missed 9 games this year. First game in which Freddie Kleeman found himself on the bench in the lead-up, one would imagine, to Saturday's game against Hartford, the Jägermeister Cup final, and then Lee Desmond has missed 4 games. So it's 13 starts for Ukebu and JJ to take on that back three. Willie, polished turn. Take that into the pocket, slip it outside. Vonner's got a goal already, touches that through, and hammered out a play by Ashton Miles, the 20-year-old center back from Southern California. It's a corner. The Attack Kit, the retro-inspired fullback collection for Sacramento tonight. All lobbed up and over into the Tower Bridge Battalion. Hey, show off your team pride in style, the official merch from shopusl.com. Check out brand new tees, hoodies, novelty items, and more. Your favorite USL team at shopusl.com by scanning the QR code now.
I feel like I need to get on there and get myself a new hoodie. The ones from the 22 final are all-time favorite piece of clothing that I've ever been given. I say that lightly. Get given the way that we've had to work for him. I think it's about out of commission.
You a fan of the retros tonight for Sacramento?
Absolutely. Can't wait to hopefully put one on one day.
Got mine in the mail on Thursday.
Just making sure. I got mine too, but I didn't want you to feel bad.
No.
Okay. Fits well. Reminds me of the 1994 Germany jerseys.
Oh, I see that.
Oh, yeah.
Very fair point.
No copyright infringement.
Wait a minute. Well, I'm with Neil on this one. This stadium holds 11,569, but it's the 11,570th that you always hear the most.
It's amazing how fluent his English becomes when the crowd mics are near head coach Neil Collins from Sacramento Republic. Surprise from Orange County, just over the 20-minute mark, still trying to release their outside backside. No surprise there, lacking a little bit of stretch within the midfield. These two, Kelly and Pinto, you know, they're allowing both Dunbar and Jamison to play a little bit narrow. No surprise there, but they want one of the sixes to release up high. Very specific instruction, Danny Stone, that in order for them to maintain aggression and a presence, they've got to test this midfield three. Luis Felipe, Blake Willie, and Justin Portillo right now. Don't want to say have it easy, but easier since Kelly and Pinto are sitting. It's a conversation when the ball is played, the next one to start to step and start to shift the midfield.
Service through, ball settled at the top of the six and launched by Sacramento. Haggard. And Usman Silla have really figured this out as the season gone along. Silla out tonight. Haggard's 7 goal contributions on the campaign out of midfield. Here's Pinto, brought in from Colorado. Ball slipped ahead. Dunbar's gonna get there. Dunbar put it wide. A little bit of swerve on that. Apparently did not take a touch.
Better. Pinto on the vertical side of things said they were capable. You want to be nitpicky here. 4 touches when 2 would have done. If they would have come square earlier, Dunbar would have had the ability to come more head on. Instead, the angle, as it releases him, it's allowing him to get high, but it cuts it to a different angle, starts to prohibit his ability to have more space working to the bottom corner. Much better, though, from Orange County. Back to the interchange we just referenced between Kelly, Pinto, and Haggard.
Dunbar, a couple goals last year, 5 assists this year, limited to just 16 games. Didn't feature in a 2-2 draw over the weekend to Charleston. 2 goals from Ethan Zubak. But MD Myers and Rubio Rabin score in a 3-minute span. And what could have been the landmark win for Orange County on the season went by the wayside, a 2-2 draw. By the way, you mentioned it earlier, how much they've been on the road. They finish with 4 of their last 5 at home. The problem is, that is El Paso, San Antonio, Louisville, and Indy 11. All teams currently above the playoff line. Have been quite good at home on the whole. 6 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws.
3 of them in the top 5, and one of which is arguably one of the best regular season teams we've seen in the history of the championship.
Ball through, Zubak prodding across, seeking Dunbar. Tough slide by Felipe, couldn't win it back. Orange County Contact at the edge of the area, referee instantly waves that off. Great call, Mr. Albuquerque. The spin at the edge of the area, the ball across, seeking Jamison. Dunbar. Woo. Umar Eyes. Hagart slashing through, that got blocked by Spalding. And Hagart, Haggard. Kumar Eyes. Couple goals in 16 games, part of what they call the hashtag next wave. He, Jamison, Ashton Miles only 20. Tyson Espy seeking his pro debut, makes the bench tonight. Kebu's up to that task, another of the young products between the teams this evening. These are two of the clubs that do it as well as anybody in the championship, taking young talent and getting them into the first team, and eventually, whether it's over to Europe or making the move up the pyramid here in the U.S., onto their next destination. Kelly inside, that will find the net.
How do you evolve with that over time, though? The balance of your academy production into first team appearances, making sure that it's not just a couple of minutes here or there, but really making an impact. Blake Willie's a good example of that. Chibi Ukebu, another one. A lot of young men on Orange County that have been thrust into the limelight because of lack of depth and injury. So for a team that won the title 4 seasons ago, you look down the list, nobody there remaining. Full complete turnover that started really 2 seasons back, and then coaching changes, personnel departing, and even some of the youngsters that you mentioned getting an opportunity abroad. Now you've got a new crop of players really at every single level. So difficult to really find the balance, but to your point, hard to argue in the Western Conference that anybody's done it better than these two.
Charleston's brought in great products from elsewhere and gotten them to that next level. Louisville's brought people in at the both end of their academy experience and into the first team, but also in the case of the Winders, for instance, straight out of the Louisville area.
New Mexico United, good depth pieces, ended up heading the collegiate route. I'm sure at some point in time, it's a good chance we'll see them circle back.
Yeah, they'll be back. Here's Willie. You know, I spoke with Neil Collins about him last week. Said, you know, credit to Mark Briggs and the full staff for integrating me into the first team last year, but he goes, this isn't about me, it's about the player. The consistency that he's brought to the team to get in at such a young age. Ball laced through and met by Shuttler with ease. You know, Willie's 18 years old, and he goes, look, 18 to 21 for a young player, and it's a lot of the discussion about how the college route is set to evolve in coming years, but these are such key moments, and if he walks out of this with 60, 70, 80 games of professional experience before he's 21, there isn't a generation of American soccer that can say that before. And you thought about the college route at Stetson and ultimately decided to depart to go overseas to Germany for a bit.
You know, everybody regrets certain decisions in their lives. And I'm not saying that about the collegiate direction. It's, you better than anyone know how I feel about it. Necessary, the impact that the college game provides for players and the impact it has on the developmental system. Not everybody's going to be an academy player who gets top flight appearances right away. That's okay. So you work through that. You find a way to continue to add experience, to have depth within your roster. So we can talk about the individual player, but for the manager as well, to be able to look and say, listen, you're only cracking 10 appearances, 15 a year, a certain amount of numbers. Why don't we push you into the college ranks, add some physicality, add the level of competition, get your confidence up, and then bring you back through.
And if I'm doing the math right, something like 4,000 Division I men's college soccer players right now, something to that vein. I'm doing the number of teams times the number of players. I mean, it's close to 10,000 on the women's side.
I'd make the argument more than that, but you're not far off. 210 teams, call it 30 players a team.
Yeah, I'm short.
Still, it's just, you cannot put a price on the ability to go and compete. It's one of the biggest arguments that I get at any single level when I speak to managers. That's from the academy ranks into college, championship, MLS, you name it. It's always about finding a way to get players to understand the value of getting a result. One of the detriments that we've created on our own over the years has been, within the developmental system in this country, the lack of competition. More so skill-based, tactically inclined, but there's something to be said for rolling up your sleeves, knocking the player off, and going to get a result.
And doing it in front of 5,000 rabid fans all in one color. You don't always get that. The younger levels overseas either. Go play an important game at Klockner Field and tell me where you're at, or Stone Stadium. It's the same at Heart Health Park tonight. Excited crowd, big game tonight, 35 minutes in. Sacramento, the early goal. Dominic Vonner in the 7th minute of play.
Both teams just working through the sorting hat right now. A little bit of trouble at the 10 spot. Hagart's now moved more frequently to the outside. Don't like it as much. Dunbar not as good with back to goal. Like him with the ability to chase the game face forward, release him to the flank, gives you the chance Hagart can still bump himself up high. And they're not moving quick enough through the ranks. You can hear the calls from Neil Collins. You can see it with your own eyes. Whether it's a condensed area of field right now, they're taking 5 touches when you only need 3. Ball movement needs to be at a premium right now for Sacramento Republic. Too slow, allowing Orange County to establish itself defensively.
Imagine it's doubly difficult to do that with 9 changes from the last game as well. Teal played it ahead. Felipe tried to drag through. And dragging by Willie. It's turned over, scooped up by Jamison. Contemplative touch, and then it is Bryce Jamison exploding the other direction. Finally, Kelly caught the snitch. Plays it down into the left side. Couple options percolating. Zuback knocked off the ball. Didn't reach Dunbar, now it did. Now Jamison, that's blocked. Dunbar, blocked again. Jamison! Well, off the mark. He took his shot at glory, you could say.
Good ball down into the corner. I love the cutback across. This is what I wanted from Sacramento in the opening minutes because it's difficult for a defender with all the space. There's that mistake that I referenced. Blake Willie, this situation where Sacramento keep getting themselves into trouble. Not just in this game, but previous matches. One of the biggest tendencies they have, transitional moments where the back line is chasing and split almost 50-50, coughing it up right on their doorstep this time, just inside the top of the 18. Very fortunate that Jamison doesn't even it on the night.
Edwards helped to win it. Peels himself off the ground. That's a big number.
You're like the Daily Prophet tonight, aren't you?
You're going to lecture me about mathematics? The irony.
I've noticed over the last 10 minutes, center your portion of your screen, much better balance centrally. Malik Pinto has come through. Stephen Kelly is really holding serve down underneath. I don't mind if they stick with one. The most important thing is they have depth. Depth is starting to force Luis Felipe and Justin Portillo to react a little bit sooner. It's throwing the rhythm off of the midfield.
Kelly up towards Zubak. Saddle Dogman. Pinballs away from Aaron Edwards.
This is where communication has to be from some of the more experienced players. Portillo could be one of them, though not as many reps as he would like this season under Neil Collins. Defensively, it is Willie and Portillo who are more going to be side by side. Luis Felipe is going to give them the freedom to roam. But as Orange County starts to build, they have to be the foundational pieces that let him hunt. Not just on the attacking side, but as the two drop in, Luis Felipe rotates right. If you establish those two early on, then he can start to pinch and put pressure, which includes Malik Pinto coming up high. Now there's that balance. He comes in, Kelly releases. That's just about talking to each other, Mike. Checks over the right shoulder, shift 5 yards, press up high. They're not speaking frequently enough to each other, which is why Orange County's building so well through the middle.
Dunbar against everybody, seemingly. Slid through, that found Jamison. It's a lot of ball watching. Jamison nearly the beneficiary. The race to become European football royalty continues. Don't miss Roma hosting Lille tomorrow, 12:45 Eastern. It is the UEFA Europa League on CBS Sports Network and streaming every match live on Paramount Plus. Got a favorite in that game? I'll ask you later.
Maybe Roma.
Oh.
Spiteful after Liverpool's loss to Galatasaray.
Yeah, life comes at you fast.
It's 2 games in a row now at Palace on the weekend. Easy Colin Shuttler.
Well, when he leaves the picture to that extent, that's one of those, you know, pictures that precede unfortunate moments or whatever the Twitter account is. Unfortunate images. All's well that ends well. Gumar eyes forward. Comes Jamison. The aforementioned Gumar eyes. Shall be mentioned again. Jamison and retained by Orange County. The win takes them to 7th in the Western Conference. They'd still have a game in hand on most of the teams around them. Jamison. Slip ball from Pinto was denied. It is a quarter zip to the top night tonight. 70 degrees at kickoff and no rain in the forecast.
He doesn't age, Neil Collins. Skincare regimen's on point. It's all that iron brew. It's that time of year.
Liquid gold, that's it. That is a referee who apparently believes Vonner took himself out of the play.
Thought the arm away from the body was enough to get him into trouble, and then there seemed to be contact on the lower extremity after the fact. There's the hand, that's one. Can't tell from that ankle if there's actual contact.
He got him on the instep of his shoe. Well, the good news is Vonner can jog now. Edwards uncorks a long throw. Devin, I think Orange County had a little more desperation coming into the game tonight. Sacramento, the players, I think individually, you could say, is a measure of desperation. Get to this time of year, you're not in the 11 consistently. Can you make that mark on your manager? As we approach halftime, is there a side that's going to walk away more satisfied by how this went, or some individuals that may have peeked their head out?
Sacramento Republic wouldn't say that the margin's that far off, though, for Orange County. Reason being, the scoreline, number one. Theoretically, they're going in with the lead. Number two, the production in the final third, even though
advantage played. Vonner unloads. Shuttler shuts the door. Rightfully, they're going to go back, give a yellow card for the contact after allowing the play to continue.
This is what I was saying, though, is the production overall, even though both teams are about 6 shots apiece, Sacramento's the only squad to actually hit the target. Good refereeing to allow this to play on. Only option available to Dominic Vonner. Narrowed the angle, 3v1 to close it down atop the 18. Good venom put behind the ball. Still a lot of work to be done by the goalkeeper, moving away with the pace. Good save.
Ashton Miles earned that yellow card, no doubt about it. Corner coming for Sacramento. Started 3 minutes of added time. Near post run. Ball knocked down. Timmer overtaken. Dunbar couldn't get away. Edwards plays it wide. Soars upward. Shuttler will catch it.
The good news for Orange County and Danny Stone is they've built themselves into this game, and I'm not talking about possession. They're doing it higher up on the pitch. They're getting more movement from the midfield. What they're lacking right now is busier bodies on that front line. The establishment on the back five for Sac really good in deep lying areas. How do you beat it? You rotate side to side quicker, 1. You test up over the top 2. But 3, and this is where they're lacking the most, you got to put more pressure on the center backs. So within that dominance, Zubac's always going to be the high piece. Push Chris Hagard up there. If you release Dunbar and Jamison, which they've done, pin them up against the 3, take the aggression of your midfield and use it as an advantage centrally. Other than that, play wide, play in, and then in behind. So the 3 that are up high, then you drop back in for Orange County. Give yourself options. They're playing higher up. They're playing quicker, better decision making. Just too predictable right now.
Orange County winless, or in their last 6. 5 against teams currently above the line. Zubac commits the foul. Take us to the precipice of halftime. Zubac and Latinovich both welcoming babies on the same day. Zubac essentially has gone on a goal-scoring run ever since, including the brace against Charleston last week. Running into the human embodiment of a brick wall tonight. Although not one that seemed much on frame to speak of yet. Is there anything left here at the end of the first half? Sacramento a 1-0 lead at the intermission. Dominic Vonner grabs his 2nd goal of the campaign. Former German youth international, putting Sacramento ahead in the 7th minute. Coming up, we'll take a look at Saturday's Jägermeister Cup final. Give you the full preview of what you can anticipate between the Republic and Hartford. Orange County and Sacramento, tooth and nail in the early going. The The Republic ahead at home as ever. The USL on CBS Sports is presented by Best Western.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Strive 45 Kids Run presented by USL.
The USL on CBS Sports is presented by Best Western. Take off the slides! Make a run for it! It's every single game at Hart Health Park. It is a 120-yard dash, and everybody's a winner. Sacramento leads at halftime. Sacramento will be back home on Saturday to take on Hartford in the Jägermeister Cup final. They've been extraordinary. Best defense, Tevin, in the entire tournament. Couple of clean sheet draws. Get through on penalties in the knockouts. They're ready to roll.
Belief is one of the more important things that you're not going to find on statistics here. Under first-year manager Neil Collins, making sure that regardless of the change in personnel, you retain the belief that you're going to find the results. And that's exactly what they've gotten out of goalkeeper Jared Mazzola, who has been incredible, explosive, commanding, leadership. He's had everything on the back line, and in the key matters that most affected Sacramento Republic moving on from 12 yards out and PK shootouts to get them into the next match and now the final. He's been on a tear. 39 appearances prior to his Jaeger Cup run. The numbers speak for themselves for a goalkeeper who had basically no first-team experiences with Sacramento Republic coming into this season. He has exploded, and he's got the trust of all the players around him.
So Mazzola is the man. Conversely, when you look at Hartford, this is the best attacking unit in the entirety of the tournament.
Couple of different reasons for that. Number one, the back line's aggressive. They've also solidified their leadership brand and said, you know what, we're going to stabilize here. They become one of the best defending teams in the league. And now in Jaeger Cup play. Coming out off of all of that, Mike, though, it's even more so the fact that they're committing 10 players forward. It's an absolute joke sometimes that turns into a track meet, but that confidence that we keep talking about, tactically, they make you feel really uncomfortable, and they score a ton of goals.
Anything stand out to you? The game is 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific on Saturday on the CBS Sports Golasso Network. First chance at a trophy if you're Hartford, if you're Sacramento, first trophy since that 2014 title.
The idea that you're always going to win if you're Sacramento Republic, they're 14-0-4 in all competitions, scoring first. They get the momentum, they put their foot on you, they make you feel uncomfortable, and they only have one loss in 15 matches all season at home. They are absolutely indomitable. The problem within all of that is Hartford Athletic have been on an absolute tear when they've gone on the road. 8-0-3 in their last 11. We just talked about their attack. They are top 5 defending as well. There are 3 teams in championship play right now that are top 10 in attacking and top 5 in defending. 2 are playing on the weekend in the Jaeger Cup final, and both are plus 15 in goal differential.
How about that? So it is Sacramento Hartford on Saturday, the Jaeger final. Neil Collins hoping to lift the trophy in his first year in Sacramento. Orange County trying to make sure they're still in the dance. We'll take you through first half highlights and what you missed when we come on back.
Park. Starting on Wednesday, October 22nd, the Republic takes on Charleston Battery, and then on Saturday, October 25th, taking on Miami.
The USL on CBS Sports is presented by Best Western. Sacramento won, Orange County in the Best Western
conference game of this week. Welcome back in, everyone. Mike Watts, Devin Kerr's back from the Kid Fun Run. You really sped there, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Proud of your slides.
Yeah, no. I
Still wearing them, too.
I am. Dev, thoughts on that first half?
Certainly an interesting one. Aggression by Sac to start. Orange County recovered well. Still need more movement out of them in the final third. But a good recovery overall. I thought their production was great. They just need more movement to really challenge Sacramento Republic. 7 shots in the first half, not 1 on target for Orange County.
Fair enough. Take a look at the first half highlights, and it is Sacramento who jumped out in front in this game, but they sort of had this coming for a little while.
Loved the movement from them. So I talk about lack of production from the visitors. Dominic Bonner, his run, beautiful. Jameson rotates out. Now you're really changing the shape of the back line. They have to react. I wanted this ball cut back across for 2 reasons. 1, it's a better chance opportunity. 2, it's easier on Blake Willie to step through it. You are going to get another bite inside 10 minutes. They're recovering on the ball through. I don't mind the slow reaction there. You still get pressure on the ball striker. The problem is the goalkeeper can only do so much. As he coughs this up on the back post, you have to have weak side support. They don't. And instead, you gift a vital opportunity to a man who started the game hot. Dominic Bonner adds the first goal of the night for Sac.
Skip it to the 26th minute, and you said it wasn't necessarily the scoreline or the possession, but where they were. Orange County's growing in.
They were playing too deep. I wanted higher numbers within the midfield. So if you're Malik Pinto, the ability to step up higher. Stephen Kelly, and that's basically the order that it came in to create link-ups with Chris Haggard. The problem that you always run into if you're Orange County, the more aggressive you become, the more exposed you become. The good news was most of the defending in the first half was actually deep lying in nature. The bad news was they still gifted opportunities from afar.
All right, it is halftime here in Sacramento, California. Take in the sights as the Republic lead OCSC 1-0 at the break.
We're down here with Fidel. All you got to do is make it here from center pitch. Now listen, we have some advice from Chibi UK on how to make it. Let's take a look.
Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball, okay? That's first. That's the rule number 1. Keep your eye on the ball. Strike through the center of the ball. Yes. The ball is at the center of the pitch. The goal is like roughly the center of the pitch too. Keep your eye on the ball. Strike through the center of the ball as hard as you can. And then if it goes just a little wide, left, right, it's okay. I didn't set that, but the ball goes out.
Great kick. Great advice. Jimmy's coming out. He loves it. Give it up for Fidel. Thanks for playing center. Good job.
The travel map is brought to you by Best Western. He's got the goal. It's not all Dominic Vonner did.
Here's the flexibility we referenced in the first half, deep lying in nature to help out on the width. But as he pushes up high, the heat exploding all over the back line for Orange County. His goal coming from the right side, but the impact in the 6, constant presence atop the 18, really frustrating Orange County's back 4.
There is a change coming for Sacramento at halftime. Timmer comes off, and Lee Desmond has entered the affair, captain for the side. Timmer has dealt with injury throughout the season, comes in, plays 45 minutes. Devin, you look at the bench for Sacramento Republic, it is a manager's dream to an extent because you can affect the game so substantially, but it's very clear. Even talking to Neil Collins at the end of last week, he goes, 90 minutes can change a lot, but we've sort of got an idea of what we want to do. The game against Monterey Bay, we'll handle Wednesday, go about the final, and then go from there as we scout out the remainder of the campaign.
Give them credit. Now, some of that is based upon table standings for Orange County, who entered the week just on the outside looking in. Of course, virtually that changes things. They need to handle Jaeger Cup final on the weekend first. That's the immediate goal, and then you adjust.
Now, they made 9 changes coming into the game, and they hold the lead at halftime over Orange County. You would say so far this has gone exactly according to plan for Sacramento Republic. A win in this game will do a lot of work to try and catch up to Sacramento, but they're still, Sacramento's going to need Tulsa to slip up down the stretch. This would move them within 3 points, but Tulsa holds the tiebreaker with 4 games remaining. That, of course, if they can put these points in the bank here tonight. Ball rolls over to Aaron Edwards, a standout for Earthquakes 2, named the team MVP last year. He won't receive it. Goal kick here for Shuttler. Shuttler, the recipient of a scary knock that saw him carted off the field and taken to the hospital in Detroit last month. Of course, well enough to play shortly thereafter and on the field here tonight. County dealing with so many injuries. Shuttler, they could hardly afford to lose. Tech Cadono, their backup, limited experience in the pro game. Shuttler career high 98 saves and 12 shutouts last year, and saved 4 more goals than analytically anticipated. Luis Felipe into the air. Nods a second time. Dogman. Hagar goes up for it. Here's Portillo. Weird night for the sponsors. 2 players named Jameson 3 days before the Jägermeister Cup final. And one of them probably shouldn't partake.
While discussing halftime highlights, we brought in the heat map for Dominic Vonner, Sacramento Republic. Efficient, really good word to describe his production. 3 shots, all of which on target. 2 inside the box. 1 goal to his name. Certainly the most dangerous player in a Republic jersey in the first half. Oh, has the turn.
Willie Vonner. Edwards. Really ping through from Cody Baker. Here's Agard. Dogman. Well, get the cross away. Down goes Dunbar, and he's pointing to the spot. It is a handball, the call from Rodrigo Albuquerque. It is a chance for Orange County to draw level. There is no VAR in the championship. What the referee and likely the AR can help with this, of course, saw is what is.
Felt like there was a little bit of a deflection from the ball on the outside right there. Possibly not as it drops in. I don't know about that one. Arm certainly away from the body. If it is contact, it's not on the initial one. It would be coming off of Dunbar.
Let's give you another look.
Not on the first touch. Coming down through, not there. Oh, if it was on the right arm. And that's up next to torso, and it wouldn't be a penalty, but they can't review it.
Zubak scored from the spot last game. Vidiello playing mind games. He saved 7 of 21. Zubak scores! A marksman from the penalty spot. Orange County equalize. Dubious or not, Ethan Zubak bags his 11th goal of the season, and it's 1-1.
Go back to the ball into the corner. Nice high established line from Orange County. Good service by Dogman. The infraction's on the right hand. And as it pops through, it's in a natural position. It is not a penalty, but there is no VAR. And from the referee's viewpoint, he sees the arm away from the body and the ball reacting to contact. That's why the decision occurs and why Ethan Zubak has the chance to equalize, does, and regains some momentum for the visitors.
So Zubak continues a terrific run of goal scoring. 21 appearances, 11 goals, and all-time 10 wins in the 15 games in which he has scored for Orange County. He got second of the year against the Republic in a win for Orange County back on April the 12th, 2-1. But it's really been the tear he's been on since June that's impressed most. Nine goals in 15 games. This time the referee wags his finger no. Devin, I just sort of want to go back to this. It looks like it makes contact with the head of Jamison, right? If I'm, excuse me, Dunbar. and goes down into the arm that is more or less straight down.
Correct.
Right? The arm can't revert back into your body.
Correct.
So I think it's sort of two ways here, right? The attacking header straight down into the arm for one, and then whether the arm is even in an unnatural position to begin with.
Add a third layer to it. The assistant referee's on the far side of the field and has no view of it.
Fair, very fair. Ball lobbed through. Dunbar, a little light whack. Ooh. Willie.
The argument here from Chris Hagard is he gets the ball, and I would agree that he does get the ball after he goes through the player, though. From a negative position, attacker can't defend himself. I've told this story many a time in my career that I was not, in fact, at fault, but certainly figured out that, yes, the rule still applied to me. Great job, by the way. Listen, referee mistake or not, better intensity, more aggression from Orange County overall to start the second half here. Still go back to the stats heading into the dressing room. Final third entries, 31-30 in favor of Sac in the first half. Shots 7-6 in favor of Orange County. Orange County didn't hit the target once.
Good step, ball lobbed through by Jamison and met by Shuttler.
Lack of balance on the outside. When the middle would move, the front line would not. When they established dominance on the width, they didn't have link-up play centrally. Had to play up over the top, lost the individual 50-50s. Balance was the conversation coming in for both of these teams, and it took 55 minutes for Orange County to establish it.
Well, Orange County has gotten it to 1-1. Unfortunately, it's been so many draws in the bottom half of the Western Conference. And we've reverted back to last year's nomenclature where no one would seemingly take the final spot, the Great Western Pillow Fight. I suppose the Best Western Pillow Fight, which is a sponsored element tonight.
All of which is figuring out how the West was won.
Still haven't figured it out. Ball through. And Spalding hit it right at Shuttler. Say at the bottom of your screen, Aaron Edwards looks like that hair was made for this jersey.
I'm positive that's exactly what he was thinking when he went into the barber.
Like it's giving off serious Carlos Valderrama
Easy
vibes.
Don't bring LP Bay into this conversation.
It's just he had the jersey to it. I have not gotten the thought out of my head the entire night. Served in over the top. And Shuttler will take it down. By the way, Devin, I think we'd be remiss not to mention the game that preceded us here tonight. Congratulations to Nashville on their first trophy. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup champions. Benitez coming in. It's the end of the night for Ryan Spalding. We'll offer a thought or two on that in a moment. It's 1-1 here in Sacramento with over half an hour to play.
He's replaced by number 22, Michelle Benitez. Substitutions presented by Medic Ambulance.
1-1 this evening between Sacramento and Orange County. Over an hour or so played, inclusive of stoppage time, and this is yet another card. Portillo and Miles went into the book for fairly tough tackles earlier. This will join the party. It is Edwards.
Everything that you want if you're Danny Stone in Orange County. Hagar right down through Route 1. That's your wingback who's come all the way back over. Not sure I understand what the argument is here, because while there's not a ton of contact, the arm's away from the body, it's in front of the referee, and you do in fact create an infraction with Chris Hagar. It's a mistake, if anything. It's frustrating, sure, but if the referee's shown you anything over the course of this game, you can't get away with much, and the calls are inconsistent. Don't put yourself in that situation to begin with.
Vitiello setting the wall. Orange County has both scored and received, it feels like, the most direct free kicks in games ever since Didier Drogba lopped the net off against them 7 years ago.
Ask Hayden Quinn in India if that's true.
Well, sure enough.
He buried enough of them back then.
He was a part of the scoring them and conceding them. So it could be Kelly, it could be Dogman. Either way, you're in for a good time. It's Kelly into the wall. Zubak rises up. Vitiello able to snag it. Vitiello, by the way, started his career in Nashville a couple of years. To go back to that, BJ Callahan and what that group in Nashville has done, it's awesome to see them lift a trophy in Austin tonight.
Pound for pound, the stylistic change and roster points that he's inflected as starting group and depth pieces. Best turnaround in MLS this year. Not even a question. Great to see them with the opportunity and execution of an Open Cup title. Well deserved.
And now you and I just start waiting for all the amateur teams to qualify.
Yeah, they've headed their way to tournament proper already.
Chester United, Motown. Good move here, Edwards. They're going to bring this back. Edwards won a free kick.
Cut up over the back shoulder. Good job in the inversion by Edwards as he cuts back through. Watch the jump up off the back line. As you push in here, Pinto then has to react coming back over because he's closed the space. Edwards got a direct path. Pinto jumps, can't cut it back through. A little bit of contact, not a ton. More frustration ensues. I'd like to see Sacramento Republic release the training wheels on the outside now. You know, the departure a second ago of Spalding, you bring Benitez in. One thing they've been a little bit lax on within this game, and I don't blame Neil Collins. 9 changes coming into the match, creating a little bit more balance on that back line. Chibi Ukebu, Cody Baker, 2 young, inexperienced players. Jared Timmer coming back from injury. You play too high, you overexpose. Now you're starting to get reinforcements. Be more aggressive.
Jamison trying to hook this inside that close post on Shuttler, where he let Portillo go. It's Jamison to the backside, and Shuttler pops it out.
Clever move here from Lewis Jamison. With it, he comes right around it, gets the wall to move with Luis Felipe on the outside. Like the way that he drags Dogman with him just to create the opportunity. Good reaction by Colin Shuttler in the moment.
Portillo. Swings this into the path of Shuttler.
It's a lot more difficult for Colin Shuttler. The rotation in front of his mic, your eyes start to look to see the player starting to peel off. Are they trying to play short? Are they trying to move it around the wall? If so, do I have to adjust my angle? Makes it look real easy in such a finite amount of time.
Dogman. Here's Haggard. Zubak equalizing 7 minutes out of halftime after Dominic Vonner scored 7 minutes into the game. Win for Orange County and into 7th place with a game in hand. Draw would keep them in 8th, but jumping Colorado Springs for the time being. I feel like that is exactly what I saw in your pregame, by the way, where Sacramento drops in so deeply that it forces Orange County to ultimately make the wrong decision or ping the ball in a way that puts them in a precarious spot, and all of a sudden it's a throw the other way.
When you're looking through what your profile is going to be, right? What's our identity on the back line for Sacramento this season? And really that was established during Mark Briggs' tenure. Organization, sure, you come in, you want to eliminate any threat. Win the battles, get a turnover, fine. If that can't happen, keep it in front of you, stay organized, and then one of two things. You push them back, reset your defensive line to come up. You can be more aggressive once you see where your trigger is going to be for the press, the right time to step, or the bad decision on the back end of it. That's one of the biggest assets they have, forcing the opposition to constantly take the road they don't want to travel. The 50-yard diagonal up over the top, low percentage ball on pickups. Because of all the movement communication, you're getting really good, like this, moments where you isolate the impact it can have on you, and it slims the margins attacking-wise for the opposition.
Stays with Orange County, just the 21st goal conceded all year by Sacramento. They've lost just twice since the middle of June. Back post. Could have squared it to Pinto instead. Lofts back in front. Vitiello came off his line. Much confusion. It's a corner.
Surprised Vitiello doesn't come full force here. Sort of lunges at it on the back side of things. Uncharacteristic from him. All the bodies in front. He's a little bit slow in reaction, but the reaction is everything. Watch the left hand right there. Hesitates at the end, recognizes that because he's delayed his start to jump up into the 6, he can't close the gap. Gets caught like a deer in headlights. But the split second we showed you in pregame, full force again for Vitiello.
Zubak went for it. Sprung outside by Baker, sent away by Willie. Vonner will chase.
Would imagine to make sure players are fresh. You don't want to rest everybody if you're Neil Collins. More reinforcements to be coming off the bench soon. Impact in this game. Quality reps and training for the weekend. Jaeger Cup final, Hartford Athletic on Saturday. And a lull right now that is really attacking quality to pair against structure.
Wingardium Leviosa up above the bar. From Vonner. Your point looks like Jack Gurr, Christian Pirano, Corey Bennett angling their way toward halfway in terms of changes for Sacramento to even out the minutes here a little bit. That would leave Russell Cicerone, Freddie Kleeman, one of the big names outside tonight. Rodrigo Lopez, of course, captain of the team for so many years. Ryan JJ, still without Sebastian Herrera. know, I had a lot of doubts about the Jägermeister Cup playing on weekends, being so far apart, right?
Tell me more.
Group stage once a month, and I sort of wondered how that was going to feel in terms of, I mean, we see it in a lot of cup competitions, but sort of the flow of that in the season, then you add in the US Open Cup, and sort of how's this going to land? As we get to the final, I think you talk to Sacramento, they're acknowledging how important it is for them. Hartford is certainly on their end a chance at a first trophy. I think ultimately the league got a great final, great opportunity to showcase a little bit in a different format. This is a good run here for Sacramento, and it's tipped over to Luis Felipe. Drops it off to Vonner, who did so much of that running by his lonesome. Benitez, and they'll slow the pace. I'm excited for Saturday night.
Same. Kind of a funny little quirk that Hartford Athletic twice this season is going to play an opponent in back-to-back matches. Rhode Island League play, then Jaeger Cup, just a couple of days' time. Well, on the weekend, the Jaeger Cup final against Sacramento Republic, and their reward, trophy or not, will be a matchup against the Western Conference opponent in league play once again.
It's in for Lewis Jamison. Corey Bennett, who went away to El Nasser. No, not that one. The one in Kuwait from Las Vegas. Makes the move back to the States to play at Sacramento. For the game. That's it for Dominic Vonner.
They're replaced by number 10, Christian Parano. And number 90, Corey Betts. Substitutions presented by Bennett Ambulance.
So that's it sub-wise for Sacramento tonight. Used all 5 now. Gerd, Desmond, Parano, Benitez, and Bennett. Parano. Edwards. Willie. Ball in from Edwards. Headers up and over. Got a little cleaning up to do here. Heard 2 was coming in. There's sort of numbers flying around here. It's 2 subs. Jack Gurr remains on the bench, available tonight. He, Kleeman, Cicerone, and Ross are left. So that's subs 3 and 4 for Sacramento. Apologies. All the while, just the first change for Orange County. It's Tristan Traeger coming in off the bench and replaces Bryce Jamison.
Real good through the looking glass moment earlier today with Danny Stone, head coach of Orange County. Because they're so banged up, but really the profile of the team overall, this is an attack-minded team who's struggled defensively and leaning into what you're best at down the stretch. Yes, things need to be better defensively. He feels like there are some shutouts within this group, but
Parano stinging the palms of Schottler. It's a way to introduce yourself to the occasion.
Still having the ability to fight fire with fire. What they have to be careful of is as they open themselves up, making sure some of these tight windows are closed down. As the back line comes high, now Pinto's reacting, but the space is still there from Ashton Miles. Have to complete the initial movement to eliminate that threat. Christian Parano, so good at his reactions, 18 yards and in.
Service through, header steered up, now down. Felipe chasing after that at the top of the area. Pirano. Portillo down the line. Edwards. Pirano. Willie. Baker. Give and go. That deflecting wide.
Well, if that 1-2 off Pirano, if that touch comes diagonal up over the back line. Christmas comes early for Corey Bennett. Really good ball movement by Sacramento Republic. There's the depth that Neil Collins is looking for to create the interchanges in tight-knit spaces when teams start to sit deep on them.
Bouncing ball. Kebu tried to turn on it. Edwards lashing. "15 minutes to go, in search of a winner still."
Still never did get on the monorail here, did we?
Never been.
Neither am I. That's the
Not
point.
just to the monorail.
Oh, in general?
No, I've never been to the venue. Never been to Sacramento.
We should change that.
November 22nd. Charleston and Louisville are like,
I
I'm
was just
sorry.
getting, yes.
Tulsa's like, excuse me?
All comments will be stricken from the record. Oh, go on, son.
Pirano feeling himself. Slip ball ahead. Back toward Pirano. Kelly upfield. Kebu.
Big boy
Blockades.
tackle. Big boy tackle.
Felipe comes back to Kebu. Seventh start this year, had 7 last year, 18-year-old center back from Sacramento. Neil Collins could have got the yellow card for impeding his own throw there.
He could still play.
100%.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I mean.
He retired and became head coach at the Rowdies the same week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stu Campbell was out, and they came to Neil Collins and said, so you want to be the head coach? You already have your UEFA A license. Get in there. So he did. Edwards. Long throw, sent away. Willie went up. Pirano settles.
It's funny you talk about the tactical mastermind in our chat earlier today. Brought up what is it, in my viewpoint, one of the greatest single changes we've seen in USL Championship history. 2021 Eastern Conference Final against Lewis City.
Go on.
One personnel change that affected 6 different positions on the field. The outcome? The game winner.
Yeah.
It was a wild back and forth affair at Al Lang back then.
Arrived at the Rowdies with the likes of Georgie Christoph and Joe Cole.
Marcel Schaefer.
The way Mike Pepper says Marcel Schaefer still, I don't know if it's haunts or what's, certainly in my consciousness.
The good news overall for Sacramento Republic is the addition of Tristan Traeger. He's the one taking the brunt of defensive involvement down underneath Ethan Zubak. The problem within all of that is they've lost some attacking presence up high. Got to release the ball a little bit quicker. Lack balance on the outside. Because of the dominance in the midfield, it's allowed Edwards and Benitez to just sit idly by, keep the game in front of them. How do you break it? Like to see them go a little bit more direct. 4-second reactionary decisions, and then moments like this where you got to go beat a player in a one-on-one. Have some confidence in yourself. Be aggressive overall. They haven't done that. It was really good at the start.
Here's Lutinovic. One of the MLS Cup winning NYCFC in 2021. Left there a year later through Estonia and Greece and Norway. And now regular at Orange County.
He's cramping. AJ Edwards. But even that ball right there, Mike, that ball didn't need to be in the feed. Play that ball down into the channel. Let your winger explode and stretch the overall shape of Sacramento. I mentioned aggression. Predictability is the other part of it. A to B to C. Pinto's at the bottom of your screen, barking for that ball. Could have been hit the first time. That's better, like that.
Hagard whisking that out in front of Zubak. Still alive on the backside for Dunbar. Navigating, end line, service, punched away, Vitiello. By the way, you mentioned Edwards sort of grabbing his leg a bit. Jack Gurr has moved toward the fourth official. What's more, he's played a third of his league minutes, now a quarter, I suppose. 81 of what's about 330 total this year tonight. A number of these guys for Sacramento playing more minutes than they have in quite a while in a competitive game. Hagard. Ball drops down kindly. Traeger outside. Dunbar cutting back. Luis Felipe intervenes. Got that last. It's a corner. Take it short. Good job by Willie. Get out there.
Sacramento Republic FC substitutions in the 83rd minute. Leading the match, number 23, AJ Edwards.
That's it for Edwards. Jack Gurr comes on. One of the more electric wingbacks in the championship. Good effort by Edwards tonight, no doubt. Gurr giving you an idea right off the bat. Pirano bumped away. Traeger had some really impressive moments at Monterey Bay. 8 goals in the 2024 season, being acquired from Charleston. Hagard.
That's the right ball from Chris Hagard. Slow legs on the far side. This initial line of pressure, though, from Sacramento Republic, much too slow. Freedom being copped up nearly every single time. Orange County's picking it up off the back line. That's on Pirano and Bennett, rotating quickly, and especially Pirano, who's right-sided dominant on that front line. The luxury the left side of this build has right now, far too frequent for Orange County.
Felipe from Bennett, quickly taken by Orange County. OC 2021 title winner, Sacramento won it their first year in the league, 2014. They've both been #1 seeds in the Championship's Western Conference. Orange County 2015, Sacramento 2016. Orange County 2018, Sacramento in 2023. And Orange County, the second best October club in the championship, behind, I believe you said, only Louisville. We typically don't ever lose in September or October, and haven't this year either. They're maybe, I mean, they're 2 weeks away from clinching the Players' Shield.
Pretty sure they would care for none of the stats if the record extended in November, just to be clear.
That's the game plan this year.
USL Championship final, end of November 22nd.
November 22nd on CBS. Where will we be? Evan will not get himself in trouble with enough coaches by answering that question. Portillo. Gurr. Gurr won that race. Jack Gurr inches up the line and just wouldn't give up. Corey Bennett the finish. Sacramento roars in front.
When you rotate this many players, it causes an influx of emotion, a lack of decision-making, and difficulty establishing rhythm. Well, the reinforcements have been thrust into the second half here. Lacking emotion, not whatsoever. Energy from Jack Gurr, but good vision to compose himself at the end. He's got to reach behind his body, picks his head up, and just clean decision-making to come back across the box. From Jack Gurr to Corey Bennett, a massive mid-season addition and go-ahead goal.
The assist, #2.
His fourth, and what a play by Jack Gurr. Able to keep that in on the end line. Slide it past Shuttler. Orange County was planning changes. They'll make them now. Molina coming in. And Tyson Espy, welcome to the pros. LAFC Academy product. He called this the best platform to Europe. Pro environment, first team experience. Tyson Espy, who's featured in the US under 15s and 16s, is out on the pro field for the first time tonight.
He's got the tall profile. Watch the ball at his feet, really pops off. A lot of times you'll see him be very aggressive trying to distribute.
Drager! There's a push against Orange County. push into the net. Ashby nearly quite the impression. I'd argue he did.
How's it on the first ball, right?
Yeah.
This is what you want if you're a manager. Danny Stone's directions will be, don't make the game difficult. Play simple. First touch opens his hips. Second touch to the outside. It's allowing your team to continue the movement coming forward. All you want to do is make the game easy on yourself. Really good start for the youngster.
Let's take a look at the Best Western upcoming schedule as Vidiello drives this away. We go into the 90th minute. ESPN2 on Sunday, Rhode Island, Las Vegas. Las Vegas's last stand, Rhode Island side right at the line. New Mexico, Oakland on October 19th. And that'll do it for our national TV schedule in the regular year. We'll have 2 playoff games coming up for you, as well as the USL Championship final November 22nd, 12 Eastern, regardless of locale, on CBS. See you in Sacramento, pal.
I was just going to say, I wonder how Neil Collins feels about mimosas. I don't know if they have that in Scotland.
I would think you could mix that with Iron Brew, no?
You can mix anything with Iron Brew. It's liquid gold, as he calls it. Though certainly all of the quality that we have in the championship this year. Yes, Sac in the West. Tulsa's going to feel good about themselves. New Mexico, now 3 wins in their last 5. And oh, by the way, the perennials, Lou City, Charleston Battery, absolutely annihilating things in the Eastern Conference. How good have they been? Indy 11, 8th right now, 32 points. Lou City, atop the East, 63. Nearly lapped them.
If they win this weekend in the Louisville-Indianapolis Proximity Association football contest, they will have lapped them. Which is both a racing and a horse racing pun, some would argue. 80 seconds into 5 minutes. Tip through. Zubak collides. Vidiello holds on. Both sides are worse for the wear.
It's a good bite in the midfield tonight. Stephen Kelly, Malik Pinto done really well for themselves as the game has gone on. Here's the problem within all of it. Kelly's decision making is perfect. Slices right through the heart of the back line, something that Sacramento has struggled with over the last couple of matches off that touch. But you've come up against the buzzsaw and Danny Vidiello. And what is the greatest goalkeeper in the history of the championship, making an incredible save in the moment. For now, securing 3 points. It's not the shutout record just yet. It's not total saves, but split-second decision-making and impact on the group. Men amongst boys. And the fans know it.
Outside, halfway through stoppage time. Service lofted, Vidiello. Makes it look easy. Vidiello makes, quote, the "oh Jesus" saves, one manager told me. His 4th year in Sacramento, his 6th year as a starter. He won't get that clean sheet mark tonight, but I can assure you he cares more about the 3 points that would draw Sacramento within 3 points of the top spot in the West with 4 games to play, and Tulsa holding the tiebreaker. For Orange County, this is potentially another opportunity lost. They're up 2-0 in the 75th minute against Charleston over the weekend. Only took a point. Came back to equalize here tonight against a rotated Sacramento side. Slips out. Sacramento don't have many thorns in their paws historically. Orange County's been one of them. They'd won the last 2 meetings between the clubs. That may go up in smoke as well. The only other team on an active win streak against Sacramento is Tulsa, who swept the series this year. And wouldn't you like to see that again? If you did, it'd probably be the championship Western Conference final. Closing in on last chance saloon here for Orange County. Traeger. Baker. Corner. Now or never. Shuttler could come forward here, and dare I say, he and Sacramento have a little history. Think back to the season opener last year. Yeah, he's gonna go. It's time. Can Lightning strike twice? Ball punched away. Knock back to Shuttler. Sends it back through. That's away. Is that enough? It is! It's full time! Sacramento get the late winner tonight from Corey Bennett. They move within 3 points of the top of the West. And a full collective team effort to take the 3 points days before a cup final. Bennett, the 87th, the winner after Vonner, the opening goal.
It's a good start for Sacramento Republic. Orange County worked themselves well through the match, evolved attacking-wise, dominated the midfield, but never really forced the issue up high, which is exactly what Republic did. Reinforcements, one of the greatest wingers in championship play right now, Jack Kerr, and the quality pickup towards the tail end of the season at Corey Bennett, all making an impact for the Quails to keep them at pace with Tulsa atop the Western Conference.
Only 1 loss at home all year. If they keep that going, they'll lift the Jaeger Cup on Saturday. For now, they move within 3 points of home field advantage in the West. We'll wrap this one up on the other side. Sacramento wins it 2-1. The USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western.
By the Tower Bridge Battalion, Blake Willie, everybody! Blake, what a performance from you guys tonight. You did get a midweek match, dig, you give up the goal, you keep fighting to get the 3 points here at home with the final goal.
Yeah, it was a really good result. A lot of guys stepped up tonight. It wasn't an easy win, but well fought victory.
You had a couple of very nice moves in the midfield tonight, a couple of spin moves. Put those on display for us. I'm sure that's something you've been working on a lot to put those on in this moment.
Yeah, I try my best to maintain the ball in the middle, and I think with each game, get more comfortable and able to block those moves.
All right, Saturday night, it's going to be an electric night. 4 days away. Jägermeister Cup final. How fired up are you to be back in front of these fans and a full house for the final on Saturday?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad we don't have to travel, and I'm glad we get to play in front of our fans. I know they're going to bring it on Saturday. I'm excited.
All right, our man of the match selected by TVB, Blake Willie, everybody. Go get your scarf, Blake.
Welcome back to Sacramento. Corey Bennett, midseason acquisition, paying dividends again. Scores the winner in the 87th. Sacramento move within 3 points of the top of the West. 2-1 over Orange County tonight. Mike Watts, Devin Kerr to wrap this one up. Then we offer you these highlights, and we start very early and in favor of the home side. So often they score first or they play at home, it feels like a death sentence for the opposition.
A lot of movement and verticality that came along with that, Mike. And 10 minutes in, rewarded with a set piece from the sideline. You know, the initial clearance isn't great at all. It's got to go to the side. And then from there, you need coverage because everybody's reacting to that 50-50 ball. The shape changes, allowing Dominic Varner to step in. It created a good moment about 3 minutes in. That's the opening goal for Sacramento Republic. As we move into the second half, controversy. It's not a penalty, I'll tell you right now. The problem is no VAR, and from the angle, the referee sees contact. It is, but the arm's against the body in a natural position. Okay, Ethan Zubak has been an absolute tear. Grabs his 11th of the season, and they get to 1-1. 9 players changed for this Quails team from the result on the weekend. That was the 1-0 loss against Monterey Bay. All of the reinforcements had an impact on the go-ahead goal. Pirano on the hold-up play. The exchange with Jacker. Quality ball back across. Then unwavering desire and engine that is the Energizer Bunny that drifts in front of Corey Bennett. The game winner and 3 points secured for the Quails.
So, Dev, here's what it looks like. Even a draw would have taken Orange County into 8th place, but they still have a game in hand. A very difficult schedule. Sacramento 3 points away from Tulsa, 4 to go, but Tulsa holds the tiebreaker.
A lot of congestion down the stretch for everybody based upon travel. Sacramento has Jaeger Cup on the weekend, and I would say this, 3 out of the 4 remaining games for FC Tulsa. Sac need a lot of help, not just because of the quality of form. Tulsa's the best home team in the Western Conference, 3 out of 4 at One Oak.
And Orange County could say for their last 5 coming up at home, they'll need to find some results down the stretch to make the playoffs themselves. So that's here in Sacramento tonight. It for us, as Sacramento wins it 2-1. We'll talk to you again on Sunday on ESPN2 as the championship season continues and our final regular season game here on CBS Sports Network comes October 19th. For Devin Kerr, our entire crew, Mike Watts saying this, then a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.